Welcome to Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia. With me today with Brandon.
Hello.
We're here talking about games and things.
Games and things.
Games and things. What's on the agenda today? I don't know. Pokemon. Pokemon's there. I got that again. You got
Okay.
Fortnite. Tried and true franchises.
Yeah. I guess so.
I actually think I have a surprisingly a lot to talk about for Pokemon this week.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not like a ton, but I actually feel like I made like a lot of progress this week. Class.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think too, I don't even know. I mean, I had a lot done. Where was I last week? So I remember. So when we talked last week, I was like, oh, I'm all done with the second DLC. I just have the epilogue left. That's where I was. So, so where I am now, I've finished the epilogue and I went back through and I've done more content with the second DLC because there was actually a lot more to do, like post-game content-wise. So we'll start with the epilogue because that's kind of interesting. So the epilogue is kind of like the story kind of finisher for the DLC specifically. It kind of like brings the DLC full circle and really kind of ties up those story bits a bit more. So interestingly though, it's kind of like Pokemon Zombies. I don't know how to describe it. So basically the story is kind of like, you know, people are getting possessed and you're kind of like, what's going on here? I don't know. And like
this is a new Pokemon DLC.
Yeah, this is the new Pokemon DLC weird. Epilogue that came out in January of this year. So brand new. It includes a new mythical Pokemon. They're Pecharunt. I think that's how you say it. I have no clue. Pecharunt. Could be either of those things. Could be neither of those things. But yeah, so it's kind of it's about that kind of Pokemon, and then there's like a story bit to go through back in the area of the first DLC where you're kind of tying up those loose ends. Mostly with the DLC stuff, some of the stuff from the main story, and it kind of lets you helps you round out that kind of like extra Pokemon thing. It's for Pokemon, it's a very story based DLC. So it's not like it's having you go out and be like, oh hey, here's these new Pokemon. It's basically it is a story for you to catch this mythical Pokemon, and that's it. It doesn't really involve exploring. It is just story bits. Here's a story bit, go to this place. Here's another story bit, go to this place. And obviously there's some gameplay in between there, like battles and stuff, but it's not like your normal Pokemon story bits. It's really just kind of, it's very story heavy. But it was interesting. That was kind of funny. But also it's kind of like, I don't know, kind of like light, dark humor in some ways too. Because like I said, there is this whole kind of like possession mechanic there. But it's enjoyable. So, I mean, I liked the story as it went through. I had some fun with it. It was, again, challenging because, you know, you're using a lot of these high-level Pokemon, so it's not, you know, you really have to kind of think about your matchups and things like that. But it was fun. It was free if you have the DLC, so you got that. Get yourself a free Pokemon. And then the other bit is that, you know, I went back through and I explored a lot of, you know, the second DLC area. So to unlock, they have those, if you remember, they have like those kind of new versions of Suicune and, you know, the legendary dogs. And I don't even know what the Justice Trio or whatever are in Scarlet and Violet. And they have like those new versions, the Paradox versions, kind of like the Waking Wind or whatever. So, but if you want to get the other two dogs or the other two, I don't know what they are, Justice Trio wolves. I'm not even sure what to call them. You have to, it has a really obnoxious requirement, which is to catch 200 of the 250 Pokemon in the Blueberry Academy Terrarium like Pokedex. So that has been a lot of the obnoxiousness that I've been facing the last week or so. So here's kind of the breakdown for how that works. So you got to get 200 of these Pokemon to get to this thing. Okay. So you have 250 available. Of those 250 Pokemon, I gotta do math fast. Hold on. There's some serious mathing going on. So this is hold tight. It's gonna take me a second. So because there are 8 generations of games that took place before this one. You got that. Each generation has 3 starter Pokemon, and each starter Pokemon has 3 forms. So that is 72 Pokemon that are tied up in this terrarium that are just by the starters. So really, I could go through and just transfer my ones in from previous games into home and kind of cheat the Pokedex that way. But I have not been. I've been actually like going through and getting them the legitimate way that it wants me to, which is fucking slow and tedious. I don't know what they were thinking with this bit. So when you're in the terrarium initially, those starter Pokemon, that 72 Pokemon, they're not available. So you have to go through and you have to, I think I mentioned it before, there's these quests that they have you do, and they get you points, and you can spend those points on different things. Each quest, the standard quests generally give you somewhere like around 20 points. To get the starter Pokemon in these terrariums, each terrarium requires 3,000 points. So that means to get all of the terrariums, to have all of the starter Pokemon, so you can get all of those 72 forms, that means you have to have 12,000 BP, and you only accumulate like 20 at a time. It is a very slow and tedious process. There are certain quests like that are a little bit more uncommon, but if you complete enough, you'll get one. And those have like higher point values, like 100 to 200, but you only get one of those about for every 10 quests that you complete. So it's not like you can reliably depend on them. So that has been frustrating. I think I've unlocked 3 of the 4 so far. I think in terms of what I need to do to get my Pokedex to 200 that I need, I have what I need, but that's just it's annoying. Apparently, there are ways that are better to do it. Like you can go on Union Circles. Apparently, if you're playing with a group, you can get quests that can give you up to 600 points. So those can make things go a bit faster. But because of the way I'm playing the game, that's not an option right now. So I don't have that ability, so I'm just kind of grinding. The only nice thing is, though, once I have done this, because I'm playing on like an alternate profile, I can always transfer it to my own game and then kind of just get a lot of movement done that way. But it's just a lot of tedious work. It's not super exciting that way. It's really kind of takes the wind out of the kind of like I think I was pretty high on the second DLC last time, and I would say now I'm pretty freaking sick of these terrariums. But I do have to say though, kind of more explore them. There's a lot of nuance. There's lots of kind of hidden areas and caves and kind of explorable things to find. But it's really kind of grindy, and the game doesn't necessarily explain things super well in all aspects. So occasionally I've even found myself going online and being like, okay, what it's asking for this? What is it asking for? I don't understand. So I don't know. Basically just getting around to rounding up those last Pokemon, but it is a bit tedious. So I don't know. That's kind of where my DLC. That's one of my thoughts on. I think maybe both the DLCs kind of tedious. I would say they really just don't seem like they're fun. They really don't seem like they're not fun. It doesn't seem like they have that as much in mind. Like it seems like it's more fan servicey, but it's like they just didn't want to. It's like fan service, but they did not want to make it too easy. So they just put like a lot of these arbitrary rules there for no reason. Which I don't understand. I think we talked about it last week when we were talking about time. We're like, hey, Pokemon's a game that's not necessarily respectful of your time.
Yeah, sure.
No, it is not. And it still is not. So yeah, that's where that is. So that was Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. I would say, I mean, I'm literally probably a very short distance away from finishing what I want to in this game and moving on. But there's a very good possibility I may end up staying in Pokemon for a little while longer. So we will see. I don't know why I had an itch to play Legends yesterday. I think it's because of the YouTube video I saw. I really like Legends a lot, as we've talked about.
Yeah. I mean, Legends is a better game.
Yeah, and it's so hype. For the new one, super excited for the new one. I think even just I don't know, it's ridiculous how excited I am for the new one, and it's so far away. So there's that. The other thing, Pokemon Go. So they did their rediscover kind of like campaign. And I think when I talked about it last week or the week before, they're like, hey, they put out this video. They didn't say what it was. Now we know what it is, and it is disappointing.
Oh, okay.
They're like, hey, graphical overhaul. And it's like, oh, okay, that's nice. They're like, yeah, we're gonna make the biomes look more like actual biomes. It sounds like they're breaking things up a lot smarter into like city, forest, water, etc. areas. So they're going to be more Pokemon that's kind of around that. They kind of updated the graphics to reflect those changes a bit more. So those things are all nice on paper. They also like made your avatar. They like changed how it looks, and the internet very upset.
Because, I mean, I saw it looks awful.
Yeah, it does not look. I turned on my game the other day, and I'm like, my character. I mean, granted, my character looked like a pale white guy before, but now it still looks like it, except dressed worse. So I don't.
I literally saw people who had like dark skin like characters be whitewashed, quite literally. I saw someone who was like, I'm Latino, and my character reflected that. Niantic, you wanna explain this? And then they posted it, and they had a before and after picture, and they like turned their character into a pale white guy.
Like, yeah,
it was completely fucked.
Yeah, so from what it sounds like, and I didn't play around with like the settings too much on like the avatar stuff, but it sounds like they added like the most extreme skin colors, like very dark and very light, but they didn't put anything in between. So it's like if you are anywhere aside from the extremes, this game's not going to reflect you, which is really disappointing because that's kind of the whole purpose of Pokemon Go in the first place. So it's supposed to be out, it's you out exploring the world and catching these Pokemon, and yeah, it just seems like they just kind of mishandled it. So they got all that. They're also doing like a campaign, like bring back more of like the Kanto Pokemon, which the game uses the Kanto Pokemon as a crutch. Granted, Pokemon as a whole use them as a crutch a lot of times too, because I feel like that generation is probably singularly the most popular Pokemon, which not surprising. I don't think anyone's surprised by this revelation, but just because that is how it is. It is how it is. So, yeah. So Pokemon Go. That's kind of where things are there. I don't remember if there's anything else about that too. I think that was the biggest change. I feel like. But I'm still trying to catch that stupid Pokemon I paid for in this game because they did this thing where they're like, at first it starts out as like, okay, catch this and do this and do this. Okay, and I finished that like relatively quickly in a couple days. And then it switched to one where it's like catch 20 dark Pokemon. Well, the events you have going on right now during this event have like 0 dark Pokemon. So like maybe I'll catch like 1 a day if I'm lucky. Right. So I'm like, I'm still like, catch 13 more. Like, okay, cool. I'll enjoy this Pokemon in a millennia. Can't wait. Yeah, but that's that. I think if I have anything else, I feel like there might be. That's just kind of, I think that's the big things off the top of my head. So I don't know. I'll let you talk for a little bit. Maybe if I think of something else, I'll jump back in. But that's Ryan. What have you been playing?
I mean, I've been playing nothing except Fortnite, and they had like a new Fortnite festival thing that recently came out. Because there was an update today actually where they added guitars. So
very nice. Even
like peripherals. For a while. I haven't been able to get a hold of one yet though, so that kind of sucks. But apparently, if you have older guitars as well, but only very specific ones, you can use them also. So I think the ones that are listed right now are the ones that were released on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, that sort of thing. But you need the specific like transfer dongle to use it, and those things are super expensive. So I can't even use those. However, also it seems on PC the only way you can use it is with Xbox controllers. So you need the Xbox guitar, you need the Xbox dongle for your PC to use the Xbox One guitars, and those are the only ones you can use. So there's that, and I kind of hate that, but it is what it is. But yeah, they introduced a new festival pass today, which was Billie Eilish, and I'm not a huge fan of Billie Eilish, but I do kind of like the songs that also came alongside her. There were ones like, oh goodness, why did my brain just literally blank? Hold on one second.
Are the Billie Eilish songs?
Yeah, but I don't care about hers. The other songs.
Okay.
The other songs are better. Let me figure out what all of them are called. Oh my god, my brain stopped working. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh wow, you're not gonna actually list the other songs in this fucking information? Nope. That kind of sucks. Anyway, there's one by Maroon 5, which is alright. It's called Maps, and it's a pretty decent song. There's one that is called why can't I remember the I know it can't be called that. So what the fuck is it called? No, it is. Okay. All right. So there's Friday I'm in Love by The Cure, which was pretty much the main one that made me buy the pass and just in general. So yeah, I got that, which also gave me Maroon 5, the one Billie Eilish song, Her as a Skin, and then 5 Seconds of Summer, which is called Youngblood, and Youngblood's an okay song too. So yeah, there's like 5 songs that I got, not counting these weird ones from Epic Games, because every single new season they put out Epic Games original songs as well into Fortnite, and this one was no different. And I mean, some of them are alright. I actually think this one has probably one of the better songs, called Change, which reminds me of like an old southern like rock song. But yeah, it's kind of fun. I don't know. I think the cool thing about it mostly is the fact that they now have the ability to use instruments. Whenever I'm able to find a guitar, I'm gonna test that out as well. But so far, no luck. But I'm gonna keep searching. So
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a supply thing. They probably just didn't know how.
Oh, it is 100% a supply thing. There's only one like company that put out the guitars, and that's it. And it's they're called PDP.
Yeah.
And when they put them out on their site, they sold out instantly. When they put them out on when they put them out in Best Buy, they sold out instantly. Same thing for GameStop and Amazon. So those are like the only places you can get the actual guitars from right now, are those places I just listed. So it's very slim pickings on where you'd be able to even get one of these. So that is a thing that's going on right now that I'm keeping an eye on. Like they aren't at Target, they aren't at Walmart, they aren't any place like that. So it's pretty much just those retailers I named, those being GameStop, Amazon, PDP's official website, and Best Buy. And that's it. Those are your only choices.
Yeah, and it makes sense, especially too if it's anything like before. A lot of times, at least back when I worked at GameStop, which was like 10 years ago now.
Yeah,
they really weren't giving much inventory space to those anyways. So I think some of this stuff was like we had to order them like specifically for customers too. Like it was not.
Although that is fair. Whereas like they weren't giving it to them then. This is like supposed to be the next big thing for Fortnite just in general, and it released today, and no one has it.
Yeah, but you got to remember though, on the flip side though, like a lot of those stores that you mentioned, Amazon and PDP don't have physical stores.
Correct.
Best Buy's moving away from games, so the fact
Mhm.
that I would find it unlikely for them to carry. They're moving away from games. They're not going to carry huge ass guitars in the
Yeah, and
store.
GameStop moved away from games like 3 years ago. So
Yeah, so it's probably gonna be the same thing where it's kind of smarter too because then you're not paying to ship them to stores, just ship them to the customers directly. It gives you a little bit tighter. You probably could ship them directly from the factories to the people if you do it
yeah,
right.
they're basically just drop shipping at that point.
Yeah, and it might be smarter because then they can manufacture what they need instead of like over making them, which was an issue back in like the Guitar Hero, like initial Guitar Hero Rock Band days, where stores were inundated and like all these accessories, and GameStop when they were carrying the used stuff, they would have like piles and piles and piles of them.
Yeah, that's
So,
fair.
Yeah, I bet a lot of the retailers were scarred from it, but I would guess it's probably more so that retailers just in general are moving away from physical stuff. Period.
Which is just wild.
Yeah, it really is. So
in a day and age where like you literally have people being like, you don't own anything, and they're like, all right, well, let's not have physical things anymore. It's like, no. We kind of need it now.
Nope, too late. You had your chance the last 30 years. You didn't do enough, so they're gone now. Silence. But yeah, also too, I guess the other side of it too is like, the controllers don't even really have like. I guess they do mention that they work with Rock Band 4 is what at least the link that you showed me mentioned.
Yeah, but like Rock Band 4 is about to be over.
Well, I was gonna say the big thing is like it's not like the guitars. It's not like there's even like game bundles with it. But I mean,
no, these are basically only made for Fortnite right now. I mean, like yeah, you can use them with Rock Band 4, but like go get a copy of Rock Band 4. Let me know how easy that is.
Yeah, good luck. Rock Band 4's had to have been out of print for years.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think you can buy a copy of Rock Band 4 Rivals anymore. Let me even see if you can. No, you cannot buy a copy of Rock Band 4 Rivals at all. Period. So. And they're pretty much regulated to overprice on eBay.
I mean, it looks like you still got like digital codes. Those aren't too bad, but
I guess
probably take up a stupid amount of space.
With the digital code? Nah, I couldn't see that taking up a lot of space.
Let's see. This one said, this person says I have 1250 songs, so 1,250 songs, and it's 57.5 gigabytes.
That's nothing.
And 4.5 gigabytes with DLC alone. But they say 120 gigabytes for everything.
Yeah.
Which really, in the grand scheme, not too bad.
That's like the price of. I mean, that's like the size of one game nowadays.
I know.
That's like nothing.
Yeah, Call of Duty is like, hold my beer.
Yeah, Call of Duty is actually like 160 gigs, I believe, at this point.
I remember we talked about it recently somehow, and it was dumb.
Yeah, stupid. It's just fucking stupid. That's what it is.
Said 172 gigabytes for PC and 240 gigabytes for PlayStation 5.
Yep, it's gone up. Okay, well, there you go.
Right. You basically have 2 Rock Bands for the price of Call of Duty. Yeah.
I think that's a steal.
Yeah. It's just, it's like a sale. Flash, it's like the, I don't know, or the Kmart blue light sales. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Light specials? I'm not sure. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, anything else on Fortnite?
No, not really. I just wanted to mention that because that was like that's really cool. They just did that more or less.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, ready to move on to news?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. We don't have a ton this week. Big news this week would be, at least as far as I could find, the Indie World was this week for the Switch, kind of talking about new games and stuff. Well, I think the big thing is everyone's, minds were broken when Silksong didn't show up.
Yeah, well, that game doesn't exist. As simple as that.
Pretty much.
People gotta realize that someday.
Yeah, I think the only thing that would have been funnier is if that one game that you want on PlayStation just randomly showed up in this direct.
Wait, which one?
What's it called? Little Devil or whatever.
Oh, dude, that'd be fucking amazing. But I don't think in any way, shape, or form that game could ever run on a Switch.
unlikely. But it would have been
Mhm.
funny if it just randomly showed up, even if it was like a dumb remake. They're like, hey, it's 8-bit version. Yeah, but so let's see. What did they talk about? You watched the direct. I watched bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
So, um, so I don't know. Did you? Well, we don't want to talk about everything, but anything that particularly stood out to you, either good or bad?
I thought the entire direct was pretty useless. We saw a lot of things that we'd seen before, and the things that were new were kind of like, oh, um, okay. Like for instance, a remake of Yara's Rising that's made in a Metroidvania slash like Mega Man side scroller, and it was like that was fucking weird. All right, sure. We'd already seen Refined Self before. It looks all right. That's fine. Little K Big City was a game that I played a demo for, and that has been going on for like the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Multiple times in Nintendo Directs, even. So I was like, okay, sure, why not? Sticky Business, which is the game about a business that has to deal with printing and making stickers and stuff. And I was just like, okay, this one still does not look that interesting to me. We did see Anton Blast, which I thought looked really good. So Anton Blast is similar to Pizza Tower, and I'm going to go ahead and say this before anyone else thinks it. So apparently the thing with Anton Blast is it was being developed before Pizza Tower, but
Mm-hmm.
Pizza Tower released first, but the creators of both the games were like bouncing ideas back and forth off of each other during the development of both games, and they are both 100% like friends with each other. So they don't give a fuck that they both basically copied each other at all. But Anton Blast is basically we have Pizza Tower at home, because Pizza Tower was the first game that released, even though Anton Blast is the first one that was being made. So yeah, that's what a lot of people are going to think. But Anton Blast did look really good. It looked like a lot of fun, and this is a game that's in the style of Wario Land, essentially. You know, speeding through, breaking stuff, you know, grabbing stuff, throwing at enemies, all this good jazz. It comes out in, I think it was November, so that's cool. That looked good.
Even the main character is very Wario-esque.
Yeah, I mean, so is Pizza Tower if you look at it. They're very much 100% going for the Wario feel to it. The Laser Eyes game I thought looked like something straight out of a like Suda 51 type game.
I'm
That
so
shit looked
excited for
really
that.
weird. I
That
kind of
looks,
dig it.
yeah, I was happy to see it back. I was happy to see it had a release date.
Hmm.
And I thought it looked really good, and it very much a Suda game, I would
Yeah,
say. In the art style, in terms of the puzzles,
yeah,
everything we saw, very much so. And that one's less than a month away, so it's
yeah.
coming
That
out.
one looks really good. Honestly, I think that one might be a really good game. So
Yeah, that one was the one that I like the most.
yeah,
And
I mean, I
this,
liked that when I saw it like last year. I still like it now.
yeah,
But yeah, basically that one, Anton Blast, and possibly God, what was the other one? Oh yes, SteamWorld Heist 2. SteamWorld Heist was a great game. SteamWorld period is a great series. So anytime there's a new game of that, it's like, okay, cool. I think I was being a bit jaded when I first saw it because I was like, this is not Silk Song, and I was like, this kind of sucks. This whole direct kind of sucks, but it's being kind of jaded and everything. But looking back on it now, there's some decent games here. We also got to see Animal Well, which got a release date as well. And if you don't know about Animal Well, Animal Well is the first indie game being made by Donkey's company. So Donkey started an indie game company, like the YouTuber Donkey.
hmm
He started an indie game company, and the first game that's being released by their company is Animal Well. So that was kind of cool seeing that.
yeah, that's a weird game.
It reminds me of like, have you seen Rain World?
No,
That game is super fun, really cool. Um, yeah, I did also notice that like he's taking a stance with the games that like his company is publishing, where it's like he's not plastered or any way being shown to be tied to it. He's just letting the game speak for themselves, and I really appreciate that about the way Donkey's like approaching this company that he's working with.
yeah,
You know, so that's like super cool. Yeah, like you said, when he was showing off before, he was like, I kind of just want like indie people to be able to make their games and put them out there for people to enjoy and that sort of thing. So he partnered with this one indie developer and for the first game, and he's publishing it. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Actually, it looks really cool too. I did not see that trailer. Looking through the list of stuff that was there looks like there's a couple trailers I missed. I did not see that one. That game looks pretty cool. I like that one. Trying to think which other ones were kind of notable for me too. I actually thought that the that Stitch game looked kind of fun. That kind of Picross-esque puzzle game.
Oh, the like cross stitching, but it was actually Picross stitching. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah.
It looked like it could be fun. I was surprised that they dedicated so much time to it. And I was looking at the direct, I was like, oh, that seems like there's a lot. But yeah, I thought that one looked pretty interesting. I was like, when I saw the Turtles game, I was like, oh, isn't that X-Men Legends? Like,
my initial thought when I saw it was like, this is absolutely shovelware. It looks bad. The Turtles game did. It looks like Diablo, but bad. Which Diablo is already bad now. But also it's a roguelike, which makes it even worse. Because like I don't really think you can do a like action RPG, like top down, that sort of thing, like Diablo or whatever, as a roguelike. It just seems like a weird idea to me. I don't know. It also did kind of have some of the vibes of like we have Hades at home. So yeah. I don't know. Maybe it'll be good, but I feel like it's not.
Yeah, I don't know. At first I was gonna be like, oh, I'm like, maybe they're just using roguelike loosely and it's just randomly generated levels, but that is not the case.
No, it's not.
Yeah, nope, not at all. Oh, I figured you'd be excited for Cat Quest 3 too.
Yeah, Cat Quest 3 is good.
Because I remember you recommended Cat Quest 1 to me, which I still have not played.
Those fun. Those games are fun. I do recommend playing those still. That's really it. I don't really have that much to say about this direct, honestly.
Yeah, the other ones I don't think I have too much. Yeah.
It seemed fine.
Yeah, it's a good way to describe it.
But that was like, yeah, it's not much to go off of here. Like pretty much all the games I named are the ones that I care about, more or less.
Yeah. I probably will pick up this Lorelei.
Yeah, that one's really interesting me.
Who's making it? I don't even remember.
I don't know. That's actually a good question.
Let's see. Simoga?
I don't know.
It's a Swedish company. Let's see what else they've made. Let's see if I know any of these. Oh, Year Walk? That was a game that people talked about, right?
Maybe. I don't remember.
Oh, they did Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Oh, that's a great game. Okay, yeah. You know what? That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be down for that.
Year Walk, I'm pretty sure I've heard of before. It's an older game.
I know what Year Walk is, but I was like, okay. Like, I didn't remember.
Yeah, the other games I don't remember at all. Or I don't remember.
What are their other games?
Okay, I'll tell you all. Cosmo Spin, and it's Cosmo with a K. Came out.
That one's all right. That's fine. Okay, go on.
Bumpy Road came out in 2011.
Don't know what that is.
It follows the adventures of an old couple on a road trip.
Okay, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. It looks like it was primarily a phone game.
Yeah, makes sense.
Beat Sneak Bandit. And that came out in 2012.
Okay.
And you're trying to sneak into the mansion of Duke Clockface.
Okay.
There you go. And that was an iPad game, looks like. Year Walk, we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
That was 2013. Next one after that was Device 6. Also came out in 2013. It was a text-based puzzle adventure game. So was that. Sailor's Dreams came out in 2014. It doesn't sound like it was too exciting because the synopsis didn't even talk about it.
Okay.
The next game was 2015. It says SPL-T. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's split. Maybe that's what's going for.
All right.
Main goal of the game is splitting blocks by tapping on them. The game is over when there's no more splits. Yeah. So there you go. Then Sayonara Wild Hearts came out 4 years later
And
in
that game's
2019.
that game's great. So
That one's well revered. And then this one, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, coming out 5 years after Sayonara Wild Hearts. So,
okay.
yeah. Oh yeah, actually, it looks like they won a lot of awards for Yearwalk. They won a shit ton of awards for Device 6. So, but it looks like maybe a lot of them are from the same company, but I've never heard of that before.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I'll have to look and see what this game is. Looks like they won BAFTA awards for it, Apple awards for it. Bunch of like excellence in sound design and visual art and things like that for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, looks interesting. But I think that's all I got to talk about for the Indie Direct.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done there too.
Yeah. What else? Anything else you want to talk about?
Honestly, no, I haven't got anything else for this week. It's a pretty short week. I watched wrestling this weekend. It was awesome, but
Yeah.
other than that, I've got like nothing to really
Same.
talk about.
And honestly, we have some real banging beginning of the year sometimes, and then we have some drought years. This has not been a very exciting beginning of the year, aside from maybe like a title or two.
I disagree. I think this year started out great.
We got Helldivers.
Helldivers 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
You were bitching pretty hard about that game last week, though. Did you change your mind again?
I haven't fully decided how I feel about that game yet. Just in general. When you're saying I was bitching, it was more of just like giving general odd criticisms about it. I don't hate this one or feel the same way that I did about Final Fantasy 16 with this game. Because Final Fantasy 16, I felt like the more I played that game, the more I felt like it was just a waste of my fucking time. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, I don't feel like it's a waste of my time. I do really enjoy my time with it, but I do feel like it's just one of those in-betweener games leading to something else that's going to be more important in the long run. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I do, but I feel like that's kind of a... When I said this year has been off to a great start, this doesn't really seem like a ringing endorsement for it, though.
So the thing is, right? When I call it like an in-betweener game, I just mean like, Final Fantasy VII, the actual game, the original game, it was on multiple discs, and not all of those discs for any of the Final Fantasy games were just like awesome, like out the get-go. Like some of them were just like building up to the next disc, essentially. And this feels like an entire game that's doing that, but it's built in such a way that it doesn't feel so much like it's busy work, but it also doesn't feel like you're doing anything substantial to add to the plot, if that makes any sense. Like, I enjoy my time with the characters, I enjoy the story that we're having with the characters, and I like the world being fleshed out, but like, it's only world building. It's not like continuing the actual plot, more or less. At least for a large portion of the game, it doesn't feel like it is. So,
fair.
I don't know. But I thought Infinite Wealth was one of the best Yakuza games in the series.
That's good. That was what, January
I love that
or
one.
February?
That was January. That was a great fucking game. Tekken 8 is awesome, and that was also around January. Great fucking game there as well. I do feel like we've had a lot of really good games released this year. Rise of the Ronin is becoming one of my favorite games that I played this year. It is
really
so fun. It is so fun. It is like no style, like it's not like big, very pretty game or anything like. It's not going for that. It's going for actual gameplay, and the gameplay is fucking awesome. Like every step of the way, it's been so much fun playing Rise of the Ronin, and I do feel like Rise of the Ronin's been some of the most fun I've had this year. I think Infinite Wealth has been like just top to bottom one of the best games I've played in a very long time, but I did put a shit ton of time into that game in general, like fucking 120, 134 hours, somewhere in there. But that game was awesome. Like I loved every bit of that game. So I think we've had a lot of games this year that came out that are great. I just think you haven't played them because they're not your style.
Also possible. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, maybe I'll do like Final Fantasy someday, but obviously I'm not like super drawn to that one.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't played the first one even, right?
Yeah, not the. I mean, I played the original, like
No,
the
that doesn't
Final
count.
Fantasy, the
That doesn't
actual
count
Final
for this
Fantasy,
game.
but not.
I know.
But yeah, I
It
know you're
doesn't
talking
count for
about
this
like
game.
this, the original for this
Hmm.
sequence. Yeah, and I have not played that one.
You
So
should give
yeah,
it a
I'm
go
not.
whenever
I
you're
probably
able
will.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have access to play it. I just have not. Um,
You have access to play it?
yeah, I mean, I have the systems to play. I just need to get the game.
Mm. So, I mean, I guess you could play the PS4 version, but I didn't think you had a PS5.
No, I'm saying I can play the PlayStation 4 version.
Yeah, okay. But then you
Or,
can't play the second one because it's
but
only
we
on
weren't
PS5.
talking about the second one. We were talking about the first one.
I know, but
Um,
I'm just saying.
and who knows? There was that rumor floating around the first one's going to end up on Xbox at some point, anyways. Too maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
And then I definitely could if that was the case. But I'm not.
That's
Like I
true.
said, not like I'm particularly in a rush to play that one.
Yeah, obviously. No big deal.
I said the like a dragon. That one was always interesting to me.
Those are
Much more so
so.
than the other ones.
Those games are so good.
Oh yeah, and then Tekken, no interest, like zero,
I
like
know.
negative interest.
I like fighting games, and I do think this game's fucking excellent
Yeah.
for
So,
fighting game.
I mean, I guess maybe more on my side. There really, yeah, you're right. There just really is not a ton in the
Mhm.
genres that I like. That's even like Minty. I think the
Balturo,
next.
I told you about that.
Oh
That came
yeah,
out this year.
I did almost buy that the other
That
day.
game's so fucking good.
Yeah, I teased on buying it again, and I did not. So
You
that
should
one
do it.
probably will be. Yeah, honestly, the indie stuff, the kind of smaller things that have been out, much more interesting to me. Even the stuff from Nintendo this year has been not exciting.
Why isn't
I,
Nintendo released this year so far? I'm trying to think.
they did that another code recollection.
Okay.
They did that. They did Mario versus Donkey Kong
Yeah, but we're gonna
remake.
get Paper Mario soon, like the
That's what I
Thousand
was
Year
gonna say.
Door.
Paper
That shit's
Mario
gonna
will be
be
fine. Yeah,
awesome.
that one should be good. There was some news about that this week because they did put a new trailer. I think it wasn't anything too jaw dropping though. I don't remember the news, but they did put out a new trailer. If you listeners, if you have not seen it yet, there is that, and it looks really good. I think it just kind of showed off some areas that we had seen previously, obviously in the original, and some comparison stuff. But it looks really nice. I also confirmed that I think the Yoshis are available in all the colors again. So
Okay.
because I guess there was a question about that. But yeah, no, that I'm gonna be excited for. That I think I'm more excited for a lot of things. But even like other stuff like Luigi's Mansion 2 remake, that'll probably get, but I'm not very excited for.
Yeah, I'm not really too hyped for Luigi's Mansion that much. It's like whatever.
That one I might throw on to like a list and wait for later because I was not a big fan of it on the 3DS. I think it's the weakest in the series, and I just did not enjoy it. It's just gonna be like just like with some of the other stuff I bought this year. Where it's like just buying it to buy it, but not because I want it. So, yeah, I'll probably just end up adding that to a wish list too. But I don't know. My most type thing right now is still the Pokemon game that's not coming out this year. I don't know a ton that I'm excited for in the second half of this year. I don't think anything right now off the top of my head. I don't know. Who knows? Oh, wait. What were the things? I sent you things. There's TV shows coming.
Okay.
I forgot about those things. Not exciting.
Okay. All right.
That was weird. They're the most random video game TV shows ever. The Golden Sun animated series, or sorry, Golden Axe animated series. Different.
I was so confused. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yep, Golden Axe animated series, and then the video game adaptation of El Paso Elsewhere.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's getting a fucking TV show or something.
Yeah, El Paso Elsewhere is getting a movie.
Oh my god,
is getting an animated series.
Dude, El Paso Elsewhere is so fucking good. I hope they integrate the music from the game because that'll make it like 10 times better.
Well, usually they're pretty good about keeping tabs on those kind of things.
I think it would be a bit risky.
Maybe they'll just do something that's reminiscent of.
No, they have to. So here's the thing, right? The thing that makes El Paso Elsewhere's music so interesting is the person that plays the lead character raps all of the music.
Oh.
So That's why they'd have to get someone that could rap, and they'd have to get someone that could do so, like in the background. And then some of the lyrics are kind of, you know,
Oh no. Well, maybe they'll make them classy lyrics instead.
uh, maybe.
Maybe. Here's a speaking of Square Enix. Here's a fun rumor for you.
Mm-hmm.
An adaptation. Actually, this is breaking. An adaptation of Kingdom Hearts is reportedly in the works.
Oh
Unclear if it's
God.
a film or TV series.
Oh God.
Yeah, don't do that. That's a bad idea. And knowing,
I don't know if it's a bad idea. I think if they made it an anime, it would be the easiest way to to make Kingdom Hearts make sense.
I think my thing is though, because Disney co-owns it, they're
Mhm.
going to probably hold very tightly onto whatever that is
So
produced.
Disney is like showing anime on Disney Plus now, and
But
like they're good anime. Yes.
well, that was not. I was like, but are they making it? Is it theirs, or are they just showing it there?
So they're showing it, but there's also some that have been like, for instance, the Star Wars equivalent of the Matrix anime. You remember the Matrix anime?
Yeah.
There was like Star Wars something. Hold on. Star Wars anime. Star Wars Visions, which was like a whole bunch of different anime directors worked on Star Wars, and
Hmm.
it was made as like an anthology series that was then put out by Disney Plus and produced by Disney Plus.
That's
I
cool.
I do think that Disney Plus could make good anime if they like just were like, here's the general consensus of what should and shouldn't be done, and then let the other like people that have worked on anime make it instead. Essentially, that's what I would say. And I think the medium of anime would actually work really well for Kingdom Hearts because it's already the most anime bullshit ever as a video game. And then the fact that a lot of the plot is locked behind a mobile game that you can no longer play, that
Hmm.
really fucked a lot of shit up. But if you could
Yeah.
just tell that story as an anime and like follow the story of the first few seasons into the convoluted bullshit, or work in the convoluted bullshit to the first few seasons as a way of explaining the convoluted bullshit, I do think that they could actually make that work.
Oh, Brandon, Brandon,
What?
Brandon, Brandon. You know that's not what the Kingdom Hearts people will do. If they do a TV show or a movie or whatever, it will be like Kingdom Hearts 3/4 and 7/5 pie, and it will be like a exclusive, like prequel to whatever Kingdom Hearts is
Again,
coming next, and it will be out for like 3 months on Disney Plus, and then they'll put it into the vault, and you will never see it again. And then you won't be able to understand the story of the next Kingdom Hearts game because you won't be able to watch it anymore. That's what will happen.
I mean, piracy exists. It'd be
Oh,
easy to
that's true.
pirate it.
That
Let's
is
be
true.
honest. Oh, we vaulted our stuff. Oh, did you now?
Oh, did you?
Because it's like right now, it's like, what is it? Fucking, I don't know who it is that owns the rights to Godzilla versus King Kong, but like that's stopping Godzilla -1 from coming over to the US right now.
Uh-huh.
But it releases on Blu-ray in Japan in a few days. So everyone's like, "Oh, really? Are you going to stop us from watching it in the US? Are you really going to stop Godzilla fans from watching Godzilla in the US because you want your movie in theaters to do better and you don't want to show us -1?" Huh. It's
Huh.
almost like we have the internet at our fingertips, and plenty of people are more than willing to subtitle it for us and let us watch it for free because your dumbass won't let us pay for it.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. Yeah. Who knows? Square's so convoluted with the way that they do things that they'll do that, or they'll do something silly like end a season on a cliffhanger, and then it will never get another season. It
Yeah.
also seems like something Square Enix
No,
would do.
actually, the way you explained it, where it's like it'll be integrated into Kingdom Hearts 4 or whatever game comes before it, well,
Yeah.
that made so much sense to me that I was like, "Fuck, he's right." And like I was immediately thinking that when you were saying it, I was like, "Fuck." My man got me. He's got it. He's got it down pat. He knows exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've learned the chaos of Square Enix and Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, don't expect it to be a retelling, Brandon.
Yeah,
Don't
you're
do
right.
those things.
You're right.
Or if they retell it, it will be completely different. It won't make any sense. And there'll be like multiple universes.
There already is.
Yeah, and so it'll be like, oh, this is a different universe than the other one, but it ties into the next game. Madness.
So now we have
what that
4
will be.
universes to contend with instead of just 3.
Yeah, and then it will put in like a Zelda timeline thing where it like splits, and it'll be like, well,
And
depending on
they'll give up on it halfway.
yeah, yeah, no, it's too convoluted. So then the next Kingdom Hearts game after the one that ties in so deeply to the storyline, which you can't watch anymore, it will be set so far in the future that the past events don't matter anymore.
That makes sense. Yeah, oddly, that all makes sense. That checks out. I would
Seems
literally expect that to happen.
legit.
It sucks that you are so right about literally everything you just said. Like, I cannot even debate you and be like, no, I don't know. You are 100% correct that they would do that. And I would just be like, yep, this sure is.
And watch, I'll go out there and make this prediction, and then when it actually comes out, it ends up being the most like vanilla, boring Kingdom Hearts thing possible. It'll be like just Sora, no Disney characters, no Final Fantasy characters.
I think that wouldn't fly like at all.
Like I said, that would be the exact opposite of my original prediction. Yeah. So, also seems like a bad idea. But who knows? Maybe Square went to Disney and was like, "Hey, we want to do this," and they're like, "Sure, you just can't use our shit." And they're like, "Oh, okay, whatever." I don't know. Anyways, that was my brief detour.
All right. That was good.
Yeah, ready to wrap things up?
I guess.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for listening to us tonight. Don't forget you can find us on YouTube, Amazon, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also, iTunes, obviously, the big one. And then our website, game-crunch.com, has all of our episodes there. If you want to reach out to us, you can send us an email at gamecrunchcast@gmail.com. Brandon.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, that said, my name is Mike Anastasia. Find me online, Clash of Penguin there, or on your favorite gaming console. And until next week, game on.
Game on.
Game on, Mike and Brandon on the screen. Diving deep in the pixel stream. Every level, every quest. Shine. Game on, got that power up, feeling blessed. Controllers up, hear the cheer. Blasting through the gaming sphere. Game on, here we go, Mike and Brandon's zone. Game on, unlocking secrets, never playing alone. With every challenge, our spirits align. Level up, hit the score, it's a neon sign. Jump and run, join the thrill, it's a world premiere. Game on, in the realm of heroes, we conquer the fear.
I forgot to tell you last week, because probably you'll hate this. But I thought it was very funny. So last week I used a new theme song for the outro for the episode.
Okay.
And it was just AI made, and it was so random.
Oh, did you use Suno?
No, I used Udio.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but they're like, I was like, let me give this thing a try. Let's see how it is. And so I'm like, hey, make me my description was something like a theme song for the Game Crunch podcast, starring Mike and Brandon, like a tagline's like Game On. And then I'm like, make it like a cartoon, like intro song. And then I use chip tunes and make it kind of like J-pop-ish. It sounded like something straight out of like, maybe Sonic Adventure or like
that sounds awesome.
2000s kind of era, kind of like punk music.
I'm gonna get you Alright, here, I'm gonna give you a link to ours. This was the 13-0 Blues because we were expecting to lose a match 13-0. So
Okay.
this is ours. We basically said we need a song about Counter-Strike 2 in the tune of blues guitar about losing the game 13-0.
I like this song.
This was presented by our leader in the, the fucking
I love this song.
right.
Yeah, this is great.
Dude, listen to the solo at the end. It's so good.
Yeah, that's excellent. It's like,
Yeah, this song is like very real.
yeah.
We won 13-2, but like
Oh, go ahead,
we
got that
lost. We lost 13-2. Sorry, not one. My bad. But anyway, it was a great song. And then like we've been making AI generated songs based on our fucking matches each week. So we had this one yesterday, which is called Victory Unclaimed.
I like the background.
This is a song about the enemy team not showing up to the match. So yeah, basically every time we have a CS match for our paid tournament that we're currently in, we make one of these songs.
So is that how you went from 13-0 to 13-2? Because of this victory unclaimed?
So the games has a number of rounds. It's the first to 13. We lost because it was 13-2. We thought it was going to be 13-0 because they were like 20 levels ahead of us. So that's where the 13-0 comes from, because we thought we were not going to get a single round. This victory unclaimed is just literally we won one. It's our first win, but we won because the enemy team didn't show up.
Hey, a win's a win.
Yeah, I guess so.